Hello, everybody, and welcome to your channeled weekly wisdom from the Blue Whales for the week of June 16th, 2025. The message for this week is all about how do we keep the peace within. So the invitation from the whales this week is all about finding our inner center and our inner peace. And they're saying that the connective thread is really feeling into what brings you joy. So finding the little ways to weave in joy into your day-to-day routine and to find inner peace. So this is really this message of like, how do we keep the peace? They're really saying like it starts with us, and it is very much how do we create that inner sensation. And the whales immediately took me into two things. First, whales really work with frequency. And it is so much, the communication through the sounds that they make creates like this harmonic symphony that comes off of their being. So we could say that they do primarily communicate through frequency, but the whales really talk about using their songs to embed their frequency into the water, so they can literally shape the consciousness of the water. They can encode the water with an intention, with different messages that when we are willing to open to communicating in that way, we can receive those loving, healing frequencies as well. And they're saying, they are really working on us on a cellular level through the frequency of water. Our bodies are on average about 60% water. So if you think of more than half of your body mass is water. And within that, we know through many studies that we can actually change the way that the different matrices in water comes together. So they've done studies where, you can put water in a glass, putting your hand around that glass and sending an emotion or an intention into that water. Actually, when they freeze the water, it changes like the crystalline structure. So it'd be a wonderful thing if you guys haven't seen it. You can certainly do a Google search to look that up. But the shape of water, when it is sent the frequency of love, looks one very specific way. And when we hold denser frequencies of anger, fear, shame, and judgment, it really creates this really sharp, jagged, kind of disharmonious pattern within the water. So the whales, again, it's this invitation of, when we want to find inner peace, we can really sit with an intention and to create a feeling within our heart and ask that shape all of the water within our body. So if you want to feel more peace, it starts with, well, what does peace feel like in my heart? Or what do I imagine peace would feel like in my heart? And with your eyes closed, you can send that frequency through the entirety of your being and allow it to encode every cellular function in your body. And you can even imagine or ask that it emanate out through your energy field and touch all that you touch in your life. Aside from frequency, whales were also talking about how they literally, they're suspended in water, and that we as humans don't fully understand the value. When we think of the value of water, we think of it, like as a resource to stay alive, but we don't really think about how we can use water to change our internal state. So water also represents our emotions and our emotional state. So again, it's this invitation this week to really bring a conscious connection to your emotional state and the physical form. And that can start with this deep intention of, what does love feel like within my heart space? And can I send that sensation of love in using your intention, that it go through all of the water within all of the cells and all of the tissues within your body, that it be encoded with love. You can do that with gratitude. You can do it with peace. You can bring it, do it with joy, with hope, anything that you want to feel within yourself. It's this really gentle reminder that we can really shift and change our internal state. And it doesn't have to just be through mental gymnastics or big somatic processing. It can really be as simple as, with our intention, talking to the water within our body and asking it to hold a very specific frequency. So the whales are really talking about this week, it's about finding your peace and allowing yourself to become peace. And they're saying, all that we are and all that we want to bring to the world, it really starts with an internal action, and it's an internal connection. It is like an internal encoding of a specific way of beating. So I would encourage you guys this week, before you even get out of bed in the morning, take a few minutes to breathe, put your hand over your heart, feel into your body, and ask that, allow yourself to feel a certain emotion, and ask that all of the water in your body attune to that frequency and to that emotion, and to allow it to live within your being. All right, I wish you guys a beautiful week ahead.